Today we are exploring a couple of min-maxing techniques you can go through after this release of the Turbo Boost event, which is going to be quite significantly improving the power of your characters by giving you the ability to increase all of your gear by 6 item levels, not to forget the new puzzling cartel chip, also known as the dinar, giving you access to a best in slot item of your choice from the raid, special items, as well as the trinkets from a Mythic Plus. Now, the first thing, as there is quite a crowd around here, the first thing would be to remember that nowadays your gilded crests are now uncapped. So you can, of course, be free to grind them, mostly, of course, in Mythic Plus. The first question you might have is it better to grind these crests in +10 to get 16 of them, or in +12s to get 20 of them? Well, ideally, of course, doing +12s will simply net you more of them, but given the experience that some of you might have had with +12s, it might actually be more of a loss of time, with keys being depleted or groups being disbanded. But we can say that from the next week, from the next reset, the average key level should have gone high enough that doing +12s will be significantly easier, and now the better way to increase your crest count. The other one, of course, is that with the limit of 90 crests per week going away, it means that now you can also gain advantage from gaining your crests by simply trading your crests, your lower level crests, for your higher level crests, right? That's going to be a fast and easy way to gain more of them, because right now, if we did this, we would have gone to 45 crests, which was half of the 90 crests we would have gotten per week. However, since we no longer have a limit, this is just going to be a flat increase as soon as this cap is now gone. Then we have the other point about the level increase. Remember that if you reach item level 675 average on your character, you will get the Feat of Strength achievement, which will go towards the discount on your upgrades for all of your characters. Now, the reason why this is relevant is because there are 2 ways in which you will be able to upgrade your character. You have the normal way with your gear, where very simply you have to take every one of your gear, which is now 2 upgrade levels higher. It went from 6 out of 6 to 6 out of 8. So you have 2 more upgrade slots to use, and if you have reached item level 675 for the achievement, upgrading any of these items up to 675 item level will be discounted. So not the 2 new tracks, the 7 out of 8 and the 8 out of 8, since those will both be above 675 item level, they will still cost 15 gilded crests per upgrade. But all of the ones below, especially for your other alts, scuffed characters, the ones further down back in item level, you will get the discounts of gilded crests, only requiring 10 crests per upgrade level instead of 15. The difference is that what will not change regardless of what achievement you get is the new crafted material, the Gilded Augmentation Matrix, which will cost 30 to upgrade 2 levels, so 6 item level increase. So this one will not change no matter what your item level is, meaning that upgrading your crafted gear, so this one, both of these, as well as this one, will cost you 30. However, what if you haven't gotten the achievement yet? What if you are still, for example, 674.3 or something, or even lower down, even if you are like 673, and you're like, damn, everyone else can upgrade, this and this and this, spending 10 plus 10. I have to spend 15 and 15 because I don't have the discount. Well, the fastest way will actually be to recraft your gear first, because since recrafting your gear will still cost you 30 crests, regardless if whether or not you have gotten to 675, whereas this one will actually cost you more if you have not gotten to 675, then the easiest way is to start spending your gilded crests for crafted upgrades if you have not gotten to 675. Since, this process would have costed you the same 30 crests with this Gilded Augmentation Matrix anyways. And since this is going to be a 6 item level jump, you're going to be able to have, a 6 item level jump here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here to get you from 673 or 674 close to 675. So once your crafting order is done, you can bring it back in, and then by now this becoming 6 item level higher, you can also increase your item level, which you can then do again with another and another and another crafted item. This is the first easy thing to look at when looking for upgrades if you haven't gotten to the discount of the item levels yet. Now this is of course relevant, mostly relevant if you still don't have a few of your items at 675 or above. For example, in my case, this would still cost 15 crests, whether or not I had the achievement, because these are all already at 678. But if you still add some 2 out of 8, 3 out of 8, 1 out of 8 myth pieces, the discount would come very in handy. So the first suggestion would be to just get working on your crafted gear first, if you haven't gotten to reaching the meta achievement, the feat of strength that will give you the discount on your gear. Now, if you already are there, then at that point it's about min-maxing the gear slots. Now, of course, one of the min-maxing will come from your Puzzling Cartel Chip weekly quest, which is right in front of the vault. So one of the quickest, easy ways, of course, would be to just get these ones. Although it wouldn't be that much of an item level increase, you would still have to spend crests to actually upgrade them, because you would be getting them at the item level that drops in the raid. So it will follow the exact same item level pattern of pretty much the loot table of the bosses. Only the last, couple will be at a pretty high item level already, but the early ones will still be at 662, for example. Now in this case, the priority is pretty much the good old same, which is go for the slots with the largest amount of stats. So the first ones to be targeted for upgrades, for example, are going to be your weapon, simply because your weapon has the largest amount of stats. Even if this one, for example, is a one-handed weapon, this one-handed weapon alone gives you almost 16,000 primary stat. If you compare this to this chest, it's 5.5 thousand primary stat. To the pants, it's also 5.5, and then the helmet 5.3, and the shoulders 4k. So this one is practically 3 times more primary stats than the other bigger gear slots in your armor pieces. So this one gets priority to be upgraded. Following that, depending on how good your trinkets are, you might also want to upgrade your trinkets right after your weapon. And once you're done with both of your weapons and your trinkets, if they're strong enough, then you go down the list of the pieces of gear with the most stats. So as we have just seen, it would have to be the chest, followed by the pants, followed by the helmet. After that, the others are pretty much the same. You get 4k primary stat on your shoulders, 4k on your belt, 4k on your gloves, as well as 4k primary stat on your boots. And then you have the weaker ones being the cloak, as well as the bracers. That would be the order of upgrades once you have farmed yourself enough gilded crests. Now, not that there were any news, but the vendor for your Puzzling Cartel chip is not account-wide, meaning that if you hop over your alt, for example, that never killed, this mythic Vexy, then this will be locked for that alt. All characters must individually defeat certain bosses to unlock their ability to buy the item from that particular boss. The other thing is that right now, even though you have all of this thing about having to be 675 to get the discounts on your upgrades, the discounted upgrades will actually check the highest item level for each slot still, regardless of your average item level. For example, this is average item level 675, but the cloak is still 658, and this trinket is still 665. What does this mean? This means that if, for example, you were to buy from the vendor a mythic Mr. Pick Me Up, which is going to be the choice of many of the healers going to Sprocket and buying this one will be given to you as 668 from the vendor. Once you got it from the vendor as 668, you will still have to spend actual crests to keep upgrading this, even if your average item level is 675 and you have gotten the discount on the upgrades. this trinket you had was still 665, which means that upgrading this will still cost you gilded crests, all the way up to 678. The same goes, of course, with the cloak. If you kill, I think it's the first boss, yeah, if you defeat the first boss and you got a 662 cloak, it's not that upgrading this from 662 all the way up to 675 will be discounted because you got the bit of strength for the discount. It will not, because your cloak was worse than the one you just looted. So this will be most evident, of course, in gear pieces with 2 slots, so mostly on your rings and on your trinkets, where the discount won't be available if you add one of the two at a lower item level than the other. For many players this will happen, of course, with the rings, because many players are still using the Circe's Circlet, right, at 658. So just know that it won't be a bug or something unintended. It is actually checking your item level piece by piece to see if you can get a discounted upgrade, not your average item level. The last thing, of course, about this is that also this is on a character by character basis. So if another one of your characters happens to have a 678 cloak, for example, this character wouldn't get it discounted, just because a different character has a high item level cloak. So that is what to look after as soon as this patch launches, as launched yesterday in NA and today in EU. First, make sure, now that you're free, to transform your lower level crest into your gilded crests. Then, also, after that, make sure, if you have not gotten to 675 first, make sure to upgrade your crafted gear first, because the discount on your gear will shave off 5 gilded crests per upgrade, but it won't work in the crafted gear, which will always cost the same. It is 30 gilded crests per upgrade. So if you haven't gotten to the item level that allows you to get the discount, and you don't want to spend, 15 per upgrade level to get this, with this gilded of the Undermine achievement, you will get your discount at 675. Then it's better to simply upgrade the crafted pieces. After you have done this and after you have gotten this achievement, and now you can upgrade your more scuffed gear, like for example this 658 cloak, only spending 10, because now you have the gilded Undermine crest discount. You can continue to upgrade your other pieces, and also going in order of strength of the pieces. So weapon into the biggest armor pieces, into the weaker armor pieces, and then down to the very weakest armor pieces. Also, as a final reminder, of course, the discount won't count for going to the new 2 upgrades, because obviously you got the achievement to be 675, but this would bring the item as 681, and this will bring the item as 684. So obviously, being higher than the item level you just got, this will still cost 30. They will still have the 15 plus 15 cost. The discount you reach is still only good if you were, essentially, if you were behind on your upgrades. If you still had, the Smith boots at 2 out of 8, and the pants at 3 out of 8, and you just looted from the vault another meat piece, let's say a shoulder piece, at 3 out of 8. All of this now will be discounted down to 10 until you reach 675, and then it will cost 15 per upgrade again. So this is the TLDR of what's happening in this reset with the Turbo Boost event. Assuming now many players will be busy getting presumably into a lot of Mythic Plus keys to farm the some 350 gilded crests required to fully upgrade all of your gear. But for today though, on this Wednesday, it is now time to leave each other. We're starting the goodbyes, of course, by thanking everyone for having watched the video, together with everyone else who's been supporting completely for free by liking and commenting down below, as well as subscribing to the channel itself. Now, with these things out of the way, thank you guys again for watching. See you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, we are continuing down this weird trend of spring, of not knowing when you want to wear long sleeves on your pants and shirts, or short sleeves because it's hot, and then it's raining, and then it's hot, and then it's raining again.